Three, two, one, and we are live. Welcome everyone to the first episode of the Monday Morning Motivation. So, my name is Adi. I'm currently a student at the University of Florida. I'm currently in the business school, which is the Huff Graduate School of Business. I'm studying information systems, and that was too much of a formal introduction from my side. Apart from that, I have been thinking about this idea for the last I don't know how many months now. And I can't believe that I have finally started the whole thing, and I was going crazy on this topic. Like, I knew I wanted to start a podcast. I love talking, and the only impediment at, for this project was to actually figure out a way to set something up in my room because I don't want to go out and I don't have like a studio. And on top of that, the next big question was what to actually talk about. Like, what do I actually talk about? Because when this idea first crossed my mind, I was um I mean, I wouldn't say like, you know, in a dark place. It was more like I was not as good as I am right now at different things. Um, and I didn't have any knowledge. I did not have any decent communication skills. And I think I'm still like learning right now considerably. But I would also not ignore the fact that I have come a long way with my speech. And the main obstacle in my course was I was not really good at concisely articulating the things that I was consuming. So for example, that I am a huge fan of other podcasts and I love reading books, and this love for books actually just sprouted out of nowhere like a few months ago, probably like 4-ish months ago. And during this duration, I think I have let me just take a look. Yeah, so I'm currently on my ninth book. I know that's not a lot, but considering the fact that I'm a full-time student, I worked full-time during the summer. I also listened to a lot of podcasts, and I also finished four, five, no wait, six audiobooks like on Audible. So that is like that's like enough for me to like be equipped enough with knowledge to start my own podcast, and that is what we are doing in this um, first episode. So as you can see, we have a decent setup going on over here. We have the microphone which is attached on top of the light, which is hilarious, but like I love the way I figured the whole thing out. And now coming to the topic, it's like what do I want to talk about? So I've been dabbling into a lot of different topics, like with physical health, mental health, emotional health, and well-being in general. And I think this is a topic that I would like to scratch on. Like, I for for information, I work as a operations associate, operations supervisor in the recreation facility of the University of Florida, which is like for me, it's like the most wonderful on-campus job I could ever dream of. It is also my first job, fun fact. And I have beautiful conversations with a lot of my coworkers and different people, and it's just so I'm so grateful to have this opportunity to like poke the minds of so many different people having different stories and having to face different problems. And every single time I talk to them, I feel like, huh, this was something really interesting, and this is something that I would like to think more about. And then for the rest of the day, I actually end up thinking on that one conversation, and my mind just wanders into different topics. So I figured why not use whatever I have learned and learn on a daily basis through self help books, through self help podcasts, through, like audiobooks, and use my judgment of their situation and the topics that I come across on a daily basis to create like short podcast episodes of like maybe 20 to 25 minutes, and then just have like a chill conversation and try to see where things lead through this conversation. So I really, when I was reading Austin Kleon's "Show Your Work" and "Steal Like an Artist." I remember there was this awesome quote in there which said like that it is not the book that you first find, it is the book that it leads you to. So obviously I paraphrased the whole thing, but so the quote goes like, it is not the book you start reading in the first place, it is the book or the topic that leads you to after reading that book. And which was really fascinating to me, because I was actually starting to get into the whole world of books at that point. And I realized that, okay, this is interesting, because this is coming from a guy who's like an author himself, and he's like also an artist, a painter. And I was like, that means that you don't necessarily need to make sure that you see something through, especially when it comes to reading books, and especially when it comes to listening to something. And this idea was also like advocated on by Naval Ravikant. I was listening to his podcast with Joe Rogan, and in that he said that the way he goes through books is like, if he finds a topic that is fascinating, he'll go and get a book on that topic, or if he finds a book fascinating, he'll start reading that book, go through a few pages, and then he'll land on certain topic, and then he will take that topic out of that book and go on to Google, go to Wikipedia, search about that topic, then take out some random article from Wikipedia which was quoted, then go to that website, and that just leads him down the rabbit hole. And in the end, he just ends up learning a lot more about that topic than he would have in the first place after reading the book. So I hope I'm making sense with where I want to go with the whole thing. So what I wanted to um, the point that I wanted to make in the first place was that instead of me trying to think about new topics every single time, I thought it would be a really, really great idea. Oh, I just forgot to switch on my Essence dispenser. Now the visual is gonna look much more cooler now. So what I wanted to talk was about is instead, so this thing crossed my mind, which was, instead of me trying to think about different topics to talk on, why don't I just utilize the different subjects and conversations that I come across on a daily basis, and then whatever thoughts that I gather around that conversation, those thoughts might be the ones that come to me when I'm running, working out, in the sauna, like whenever I have free time, I'm always thinking of something. And why not just like condense the whole thing and put it in like one podcast episode? And the way I'll probably do it is, I'll jot down all the main points and mention those main points that I'm going to talk about in the, like, front load them in the beginning of the podcast, so that everyone can know that what are the different things that we are going to talk about in this one. And then maybe if they're interested in listening on this topic and listening to my thoughts on this topic and the thoughts that I've gathered from different living and non-living people on this topic who I come across on a daily basis, via books, again, podcasts, and so on. They might just end up listening to the episode. If someone's not interested, definitely they can skip this one, because as you guys can tell, the way I'm talking, I'm definitely not just gonna be releasing one episode every week, which is gonna be more than one, definitely more than one. And it is going to be like a raw conversation. So it's not like I have to edit the whole video, go to the Open DaVinci and do the whole schnitz, but it's more likely a conversation between me and you guys. And you guys, if interested, can just jot down your thoughts in the comments. I'm not really sure at this point on what platforms I want to start this podcast, but it's definitely going to be on Spotify and YouTube at this point, because I've already started looking into how to post podcast episodes on those two platforms. And it's going to be an interesting journey. I mean, my God, I can't believe that I procrastinated for so long to just start the whole thing. And I remember this quote, reading this quote in one of Robin Sharma's book. I think it was the 5 a.m. Club, which said that procrastination is the biggest act of self-hatred. And now I realize that maybe I should have just started this way before. Like, why did I wait? Like, this is so much fun. I think I'm like 5 or 7 minutes into talking and I'm already having so much fun. Like, this is going to be a blast. And I'm pretty sure that not a lot of people are going to listen to this first episode of the podcast. So, no worries. There's going to be plenty more. I'm going to work a lot on the setup around me, make sure that things are working great. But on top of that, thank you so much for listening through this first episode of the podcast. This was like an impromptu thing. So long, let me, yeah. So this was like an impromptu thing. I did not see this through. It's almost 8 p.m. and I'm gonna go to bed in like an hour. Waking up tomorrow at 4 a.m. once again. I have a opening shift at 5, and I've like this packed up day. 2 midterm exams this week, and it's gonna be a ball. But thank you so much for listening again. This is it for today, and make sure to also subscribe to my YouTube channel. It is Aditya Thakur, which is my actual name. I mean, Adi is my nickname. I usually use it here in the States because it's easier to pronounce for everyone. And make sure to go check out my YouTube channel. It is Aditya Thakur. And also make sure to go and check out my blog. I just started a blog as well because I thought, why not? Like, I'm already journaling every single morning after I wake up. Why not just start writing a blog as well? By the time you guys see this video or see this podcast episode, my bad. By the time you see this, I might have just published like a single blog on that website, but I mean, it's definitely worth reading, so give it a try. And once again, thank you so much for watching or listening to this podcast episode, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great one ahead.